Always satisfying to pull off the tape. Got a little bit of overspray, but that's okay because we're going to paint all that. Now we got our flat black trim, which is still a little wet. Which flat black's not going to be flat black for long because I'm going to have to clear over that. The edge is black to see if it would give more depth to the numbers. I think I like it. Yeah, I think it's going to be all right. Yeah, one of the best things, if you need advice about painting, with any paint really, but spray paint especially, you tape something off and you'll paint and you'll see it and you just can't wait to rip off the tape and wait till everything dries, man, and you'll be happier with yourself and the product. I always screw it up when I pull the tape off prematurely. Not always, but most times. Try this again. Gotta love a Purdy. I've had some of my Purdy brushes for 10, 15 years. If you take care of them and don't let paint get up in here. Even if you do, you can kind of get it out with a pressure washer. But I'm by far not the best painter in the world. And I don't mind doing it on occasion. I just wouldn't be able to do it for a living, I don't reckon. I'd do what I had to do if I had to do it, but too much paint there. There we go. That's still a little much. One thing I learned too, don't buy chitty paint. You can't be a good painter with chitty paint. Really supposed to cut everything in first. Or at least that's the way I was taught. I didn't sand these before I glued and stapled them together, so my little corners up in here aren't as smooth as the rest of the wood. So it's hard to get the bristles in the little uneven holes. But we got tricks for all that stuff too. Trick's a little bitty brush. If you can't get your big one in there, you get your little one. Now me personally, I've always liked a smaller brush. I think this is a 2-inch here. Guy that was helping me paint, he likes to paint with a 4 because it holds more paint. I just can't maneuver a 4-inch brush as well as I can a 2 or 1.5 inches when I'm cutting. Definitely something I wouldn't be able to do, if I had DTs or something, Most of the old-timer painters I know, man, were hard, big drinkers too, so I don't know how in the hell they did it. What do you think? Let's see here. I have no idea what's in frame over there. I've seen pros, they can get a brush full of paint and do like a 10-foot run. I don't know how the hell they do it. And nobody's ever shared the trick, so I'll continue doing my little short runs until I'm graced with the knowledge of the trade. Let's see here. Not too bad, eh? I think that red's going to look real good with I think the red and the gray and the black's going to all go together swimmingly, as they say, in concert. Dance with the one what brung you. This daggum thing steady. Change in elevation there, but those two boards. nice corner here. Get them bristles in there without getting paint on everything. Voila. Alright, now try to make the middle as pretty and even and brush strokeless without Floetrol or anything like that. It's just paint out of a can, out of the bottom of a can. Probably was not stirred enough. I did stir at it. So we've got a little bit of red in the house and a couple of pieces of furniture, some pictures, and a LED wall valance light thing that I made that you can see on our channel. In one of the videos, and the doors on the house are red, as per a member of the family that always wanted red doors, so that's what we provided. And then we'll have the red numbers. The gray is on the eaves and some of the trim. Black is on the trim. There's black in the house too. So, point is, everything ties together, not overwhelmingly. But when you come on the property, you'll see the same color scheme all the way through, in and out. I don't think you'll ever really notice it as being wasn't done on, it won't look like it's done on purpose. Or I like the way this paints and this stuff does really good. But I think subconsciously it'll all kind of flow together. Thing too, when you're painting this stuff, is you don't want to mess with it. You want to paint it and get out of there once you get your strokes down. Because see, if I come back and I start brushing where it's already starting to dry and get tacky, there's a name for it. I can't remember what it is, but it'll start like right there. So what I have to do when I make that mistake is I've got to come back in with wet paint now I've actually got more paint in that little area than I do everywhere else because I had to add more paint. And in some cases, you'll see that when it dries. This paint here has been pretty good about it. So, seeing. And I got to remember that this is a gray. Grays dry weird. You'll think they're drying real uneven, when in fact it's just the gray, because grays get dark when they dry, and they dry funny. So, with all that being said, I think while I got my brush dirty, I'm going to go ahead and go out in front and I'm going to paint a couple of little things out there. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll come back in a little bit and put them letters on, okay? Okay, big reveal, folks. Water-based latex. Yeah, that looks a lot more like a 1. 2-1. And spray paint on the rear. Bringing up the rear. Let me see here. See, doesn't that black just make it look just, 1 ton better? And just old red. Huh? I think so. That really makes it pop. Get you a bird's eye view on that. Okay, so I'm going to have the same visual, not measurement, same gap there as I will here. Okay, then I'm going to set that 4 up to where it looks pleasing to the eye, and that means tilt it like that, a little bit more italic, a little bit more straight up and down, or somewhere in the middle. I tend to be a more somewhere in the middle kind of guy on some things. The other thing probably want to do is I probably want to do a quick where's the center? Now I want to find the center of this thing, so I'll take my fingers and I'll stand kind of in the center, and I'll bring my hand together like that. So this is my center right there. And let's see if you want to test that. It's usually proven to work for me pretty good. Well, I had a measuring tape. I'm gonna try again here. Now I'm gonna stand back. This here. I'm calling that right there center. See how far off I am. That is 19.5. I have no idea how long this thing even is. It kind of changed. I never even got the 18 3/4. So my half, I was about I don't know what, half inch off, something like that. So anyway, this is my center here. And then see that thing there? That thing's 6 inches wide, 12 inches tall, or 11 3/4 anyway. So the middle of this guy is about right there. All right. So really, that would be the center. That would be the center of the plaque. So The next question is, how much room, how much space do I want on the end of each number? How much space do I want in between each digit? So the way this thing's set, and see, you still can't go by that because it's really all got to be by eye. Because here's the reason why. That digit there is only 3.5. That one there's 5.5, 6 inches wide. This one here's 6. That one there's only 5.25. So there's no way to truly figure out, you follow me, how many inches you're going to have here, how many inches you're going to have here from the center. So you really just have to eyeball the whole thing, kind of lay it out, and see what works best for you. And that's kind of what I'm going to do now. I think if I take up the whole area, it's going to look just as damn good as if I crump them up. But see, with this 4 on center, this is the problem with using a measuring tape. This 4 being on center, it crowds the 3 down here. That's the reason being, when you get down here, because the 4 is a certain width, and then you don't have the width in the 1. You do in the 4 and the 3. See how I'm crowding over here, and I'm not over there. So this 4 really needs to be offset back over about where I had it visually. Then we can take and move the 1 accordingly. See, now the O can come back over here, the 3 can come over there, and now if you look, oh, this thing is going to drive me up a wall. See the gap we got there, and the gap we got there, so not bad. Oh, I see what's happening. That thing's stuck on 4. Look at that. It likes the 4. Now, let's see. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this damn thing. There we go. Now, there we go. I must have bumped the button. So, with that being said, eyeball, 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 and if it looks good to you, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And me, I think this looks good. I still think I'm a little spread out here, a little crunched here. I may have went over with that 4 just a little too much when I moved it over there. That looks good right there, I think. I am going to just kind of walk around this and him a couple of times. Oh, but look at the black edges, man. Look at that thing just making it pop. And I'd also thought about, too, getting an airbrush, but, I'll never do it. And getting some black and fading shadows, like the sun. The problem is when you do that, when you're in a real world situation and the sun's moving, but your shadow's not, it looks funny sometimes. So sometimes it's best just to let the sun do its thing, right? So anyway, this has been our 21403 plaque that we made. My buddy made the 10-inch letters, 12 in some cases if you got a 4. And thank you, Nelson, for that, man. That was such a blessing. You did such a wonderful job on them. He happens to have a laser cutter, and I didn't want to put screw holes through them. I didn't want them to be seen, so we thought about a metal frame, doing standoffs, and I talked to another buddy of mine, Jesus, and he told me, he said, yeah, but the spiders, and I said, yeah, the spiders will get behind there. So I wanted to put them at like a 45-degree angle down the house. And this here I can mount screwing holes into my plaque, not the numbers. I can mount the numbers without anybody seeing how they're mounted. And I think all in all, they look really, really good. See, my mind right now, I'm thinking, oh, I can put plexiglass over the top of it and light it and all. You know, geez, gosh, it's a disease, man. I can't leave well enough alone. Anyway, after I get it mounted, I'll also post a picture and tag it on there somewhere, add it to the video or something like that. If you want to make one of these, got any questions, man, look, less than $10 in the lumber. The 4x4 or 202 I had laying out underneath the carport. Used a router to cut a channel in it. So the $2.67 a stick, that's a 6 foot piece, cut in half. And then I had another piece of scrap that I used to put in the center there so I could make it tall enough. So, and then a little bit of paint. You know, so like I figure probably, you know, under $10 is what I got in the thing, you know, and you could do it for the same as long as you got a buddy with a laser cutter that can cut these numbers. Those dadgum numbers, when you start getting numbers in size, they get expensive. You go over 3 inches, you're start talking about $4 or $5 a piece. And, you know, if I lived at 1 or 12 or 4, it'd be one thing to buy a 2 foot letter. But, you know, when you got to buy 5 or 6 of them, then it starts getting expensive. These things here would have probably cost me somewhere around $30 a number. And now you're just talking stupid money, you know. Now you can do something like this here, and you can do it with vinyl and put vinyl on here. And it looks real, real well. You can, if you don't want the vinyl, you can use the vinyl and then paint over the vinyl and pull the vinyl off so you'll have it actually painted. And that looks real, real good. And that there you could do for, you know, under $10. So anyway, got any questions? Got to know Joe Hobbies here in Spring, Texas. And this is our address and this is our plaque. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
I like that. That suits it very well.
We still got to make some dowels to put in here.
Yeah, so I can cover.
And plug them up and paint, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it came out okay.
I like it.
I still wanted them at a diagonal, but it would have been a deal to make that plaque that way. And I didn't think it was going to look right. You know?
No, this is good. This looks great.
I'm going to take all of these. I'm going to leave this one. I'll leave this, take all of these out. And then that quarter round glass there. I think I'm going to put the quarter round glass probably like right here, going that way.
I see it.
You know, so one side of the top of the circle will be over here, the other side will be over here.
I like that. It's going to come all together.
Well, if I quit coming up with these great ideas, I might be able to get something finished, you know.
It's getting there. I see it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you, ma'am. Okie dokie.
Oh no.